Phoenix Splash TV. Street Fighter V Story Mode. The reviews are out and the content is out. People have said their piece and I've actually played through it. Now I know people are complaining that it came out way too late and whatnot, but the story mode is free, so I guess we should all just live with it for now. Now I know I said I would buy a PS4 when Shenmue 3 comes out, so keep in mind that I played this at one of my best friends' house. This same friend forcefully made me play through Injustice's story mode and Mortal Kombat 9's, so that's what I'll be comparing it to. Many people compare it to Dead or Alive's story mode, but I've never played that one. That being said, let me tell you what I think about Street Fighter V story mode, titled A Shadow Falls. Ironically, Double Dragon 5 was also called The Shadow Falls as well. I wonder if there's a connection. Probably not. First, let's start off with some flaws, which I'm sure some of you are eager to hear. There is graphical problems with certain accessories of certain characters. Like Rashad's beard kept going through his chest, but this kind of thing I see in newer games like Metal Gear Solid 5. I kind of brushed it off, but people seem to be complaining about that. People also complain about the mismatched lips, because they didn't sync them as well as they should have due to the original syncing being in Japanese. But I watch a lot of foreign films, so I see that kind of thing all the time. It isn't like Mortal Kombat 9, where the graphics were designed for English. Another thing about the story mode is that it doesn't make you stick with one character like Mortal Kombat or Injustice does. It's constantly switching. My friend made me play it on harder difficulties. But the only character I had trouble with was Karen. Everyone else I didn't have too many problems with, playing wise. Personally, I like that it switched the characters a lot. In my eyes, it kept the story going, and as a result, it was paced way better than Mortal Kombat 9's story mode. People complain about the voice acting as well, and honestly, I didn't find it a problem at all. When comparing it to Street Fighter 2 V's or the animated cartoon, it felt just like something like that. One complaint that I have that no one else seems to notice is the balance and volumes between the music and the dialogue. Sometimes the music was just a bit too loud, and sometimes it drowned out some of the voice acting. But maybe it was just my friend's TV or something. Now let's get to the good stuff, the story itself. What did I think about it? Now, I'm a pretty big Street Fighter fan. I grew up with all of these characters and I loved them a lot. Every one of them. I never would have guessed that my favorite character by the end of it would be a new character named Rashad. In my eyes, he was written really well and he had a captivating story. There was one part dealing with his character that touched me emotionally. If I was on my period seeing it, I probably would have bawled out and cried. In my eyes, all of the characters in the story mode are represented pretty well. None of them are made to look weak. This was the biggest problem I had with Mortal Kombat 9's story mode. There's one part in the story mode when Sindel just kills half the cast. All of them, for good, and they don't come back. There was another part where Robot Sub-Zero beat Goro and Kintaro at the same time. That was just a little silly to me, and honestly, that kind of thing kind of ruined the story mode for me. There was nothing like that in Street Fighter V story mode. There was one problem though. Ryu was absent for most of it. A lot of times during the story mode, I would think to myself, this is cool and all, but when the hell is Ryu going to come back? I guess you can call that suspense, but I just wanted Ryu. And when he did come back, he was as badass as he could be. A way better representation than what Mortal Kombat 9 did to Liu Kang. That's how you treat the poster boy of the series. Not making him a little bitch and killing him off. Oh, spoilers, I guess. A lot of people call Street Fighter V story mode campy and bright, but I disagree. I thought it was pretty dark. Now, I'm a huge fan of dark stories that don't use over-the-top violence. It's why the Saga of Swamp Thing is my favorite story of all time. The story does get pretty dark and sad. And of course there's comedy too. Zangief and R. Micah and Ibuki made me laugh from time to time. Birdie was probably in that dark zone somewhere. What the hell did they do to him, man? The ending was amazing. After the credits roll, Ken and Ryu start to spar again, and I thought it was going to end on that note. The next thing I knew, Ken was doing a super move to me while I had my controller down. Overall, I liked it a lot. For me personally, I enjoyed it a lot more than Mortal Kombat 9's. I'm not going to say I enjoyed it more than Injustice's because I don't really remember Injustice's too much. Plus, I heard you had to read a comic before playing the whole thing, and I didn't do that, so I didn't get the full experience. I know you might hate me saying this again, but Rashad's character was just really interesting to me. Now I know he's Middle Eastern, but he wasn't stereotypical in any way. Any race would have worked in that role. Also, the reveal at the end was really cool and even gave me chills. Keep in mind, I didn't do any research on the story mode, or much research on Street Fighter V at all for that matter. I didn't even know Ibuki was going to be in the game. And she even kills people! Eat your heart out, Mortal Kombat.
Watch out! Thank you for that.
Now I know there's a lot of hate for Street Fighter V right now, and it's true, this story mode should have came out with the game at launch. But from an objective point of view, the story mode was amazing, way better than I thought it would be. You could tell that hard work and thought went into it, and that's all I really ask for. As far as the gameplay for Street Fighter V goes, I didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me. This is mainly because they switched up my main guy, Vega, like big time, but I got used to him, and he's actually pretty good. Have you played Street Fighter V Story Mode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave it in the comments below. Are you just going to wait it out for that Super Street Fighter V edition? Leave that in the comments below too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Phoenix Splash TV. This is Game Analyzer, signing off.